Well, might as well keep talking DCU, you know. And how about some Wonder Woman? So, with Henry gone and Ben Affleck gone, one wonders, will Gal Gadot also be gone as Wonder Woman? And if you were going to do a reboot, I would be more inclined to just reboot everything rather than a few things here and there. That's annoying. I would rather they continue with this cast, but I'm not going to get that. So the deal is, in this little article, is that someone spotted some Wonder Woman scenes in a Japanese version of Shazam, Fury of the Gods, and there's some stills from it, and that looks like, hey, look, it's Wonder Woman, which would make sense. It's called Fury of the Gods, and that's one of the things that Shazam, Captain Marvel, as far as I'm concerned, has in common with Wonder Woman, is that they're sort of these derivative characters of ancient gods, primarily, certainly the gods of Olympus and whatnot. Certainly Zeus's lightning bolt plays into Shazam mysticism, as what the wizard made use of. And so there's got to be these evil goddesses showing up in the film as the villains, with Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu and all that. And since they exist in the same world, at least for now, Wonder Woman would be a character that would take some notice and interest in these wayward goddesses or what have you. And so maybe she'll have more of an active role, probably just at the tail end or something like that. The rumor initially that I had heard was that there's a dream sequence where Billy Batson fantasizes that Wonder Woman is his girlfriend, and who could blame him? And that's all it was. But maybe it was a little more than that. But the problem with these trailers, and this being a trailer made for Japan, this might be footage that's cut out. You know, it was meant to be there, but it's not anymore. And so the article continues that, yes, there was rumors that she'd had some scenes from the Flash film cut out. That I think the scenes that she had at the opening of the film would probably still be there. There's supposed to be like a sort of almost a Justice League reunion here with the Flash, Wonder Woman, and Batman, and she shows up to help them out with dealing with terrorists, I guess, or something like that. But she was also supposed to show up at the end after all the universe-changing shenanigans happened, and even Henry Cavill was supposed to show up. Well, since things have changed, they've cut that out. And maybe she gets cut too. Perhaps she was in the scene with Henry Cavill as Superman. And they decided, well, we're not going to have Superman around, at least not Henry's anymore. And so we're moving on from that. So that had to be cut. Michael Keaton was supposed to continue as the Bruce Wayne going forward after the changes. Well, that whole idea has been scrapped. And Sasha Calle, this might be her only appearance as Supergirl, even though they're going to do a Supergirl film before they do a Wonder Woman film. Doesn't make any sense to me. Worst of all, based on a story by Tom King, which that's already just dead on arrival almost for me. Maybe they'll fix it and make it better, but I don't know whether that'll be Sasha Calle playing the role. Probably not. I don't know. So that's the deal. If they, hey, maybe you'll get a few more scenes of Gal Gadot before it's all over. Yeah, maybe. But it's kind of sad. But Gunn did say that, hey, we've talked to Gal Gadot. She's up for doing stuff. Well, yeah, I guess. We're not sure what we're going to do with that. So look, it's still up in the air, But all you're doing is this Paradise Lost show to be, Game of Thrones with Amazons. And the problem I have with this sort of thing is that it's one of my great pet peeves of they had all these Batman shows with no Batman. You had quite a few Superman shows with no Superman. You got one now with Lois and Superman, but and that's one of the other bright spots of these recent announcements. Apparently, they're going to continue with that. It's going to get another season, so that's nice because it's a good show. So I think it earned it. So I guess all that's left of the CW, even though technically it's not a part of that era of DC superheroes, will be Superman surviving. And it makes sense in some kind of way. But it's a good show. So Henry Cavill doesn't get to continue being Superman, but Tyler Hoechlin does. So, well, good for you, I guess. And so that's one of the bright spots of all of this. But that's kind of the only thing you got, and so now we're going to get a Wonder Woman show with no Wonder Woman. And but we'll get a Supergirl movie, but so by the time you do get to a Wonder Woman movie, oh gee gall, you've kind of aged out of it. I'm sorry, just like Henry did. So so this sounds very much like what they said about Henry, saying they had a meeting with him, we want to work with him in the future, but he's not going to be Superman. Which, of course, if you cast him as something else, anything else, I mean, it's going to be kind of, hey, look, it's that guy who was Superman, but now it's the other guy, but now he's this guy, and that kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe they put him in a lot of makeup and have him play Darkseid or something. Or he could be the new Batman. Since Batman would have to be older in this, I don't know why they keep pushing for older Batman, but he would have to be older in this version because he's got a son in Damian, and he's trying to raise him and teach him to not be so nasty and violent. Hey, there you go, Henry's Batman. I don't think so, because I mean, what this business of it's a creative decision and it's because of the age and whatnot, I don't think so. Obviously the pay that they've earned in their status at this point, they'd rather go with some new unknown that would be much cheaper, because some of these movies or TV shows and what do sound cheap. The Lanterns thing, where it's just going to be a terrestrial detective story. They're space cops. I guess it'd be space at a minimum. And then the Superman film sounds an awful like it's going to just be a Clark Kent film. So paying Henry would eat up all the money they have around on the table to make it. But the hope is that, it's all a big hit, and then they'll have more money to make more expensive movies that are more spectacular to see and stuff like that. Well, yeah, good luck. But what are you going to do? So he goes on about how crappy DC was, and he's not wrong. And that, you have Wonder Woman, which was great. It's a great film. And then you have a piece of crap like Wonder Woman 1984, which doesn't even match with what, he's made no attempt, really, other than, Steve Trevor. Yeah, I know, but good Lord. And then there's the whole mess of the cohesiveness that he's promising, which is important because there was virtually no attempt, really. Because you have Wonder Woman show up in Batman versus Superman. Then you introduce her in her own film. And then for some reason, because she's depressed over the death of Steve Trevor, she's depressed and lonely for 100 years. And then suddenly decides to come out of retirement to defend the world against Doomsday. But just a short skip and a hop before that, the Earth was invaded by the Kryptonians and nearly destroyed all humanity. And she did nothing, So you needed something in between there to explain, she wasn't available because this happened or something, or she went to another world. I don't know. But when you make the cohesive shared universe, you got to have that explained and mapped out and stuff. And that's what Gunn's promising here. But he's got a Mount Everest to climb here. For a lot of bad will, especially how the Henry Cavill thing was handled, announcing he's back and then no, he's not. That's gonna sting for a long time. And it's not really on him. It's what the mess at DC and Warner's has been, I guess. Because if you didn't have the money to consider him, then you never should have said he was back. I don't know. I guess there's this, hey, if Black Adam hits $1 billion, then it's, that movie was never going to hit $1 billion. It's not an awful movie. It's not great, but that's not a character anyone knew. So the idea is that, So anyway, So this is another example of someone saying, hey, I don't understand. Viola Davis stays as Amanda Waller. I thought this was being a reboot. And so here he clarifies that, yes, the Flash movie will reset many things, but not all things. Some characters remain the same, some do not. So, you know, Peacemaker stays the same, Amanda Waller stays the same. You know? And I guess Jason Momoa is still Aquaman, but him becoming Lobo, I mean, it's just too good of an idea, you know? And especially if you put James Gunn in the chair on that one, I think they could make a fantastic film out of that if they get the chance. A lot of these ideas that's supposed to get this thing started, I don't know about Chris Pratt being Booster Gold. He would be perfect for the role, but there again, if Henry's aged out of Superman, he's aged out of Booster Gold. If you're going with Hal Jordan as a mentor for Jon Stewart, then maybe he could be Hal Jordan for that. And that would be a different character for him. Booster Gold is, you know, he's kind of comical and stuff, and it would be similar to what he did with Star-Lord and Guardians, you know. So it'd be kind of, well, do the same thing, you know. But odds are, that's probably what he'll do. I don't know. He'll be Booster Gold, so. But, you know, it might make it all right. But unfortunately, I'm thinking Gal Gadot's days as Wonder Woman are sadly numbered. So, here we go.